Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chapter 12 continues, or starts at least, with Arjuna's question. But if we go back to chapter 11, well, ends with Krishna withdrawing his universal form, showing Arjuna that he's time, all devouring time. Then he shows Arjuna that he shows Arjuna his four-handed form, and finally he resumes his form of Krishna with two hands. Then he talks about how to become eligible or able to see this form. And he says that only by undivided bhakti, devotion, can one see Krishna. There is no other way to see Krishna. And then there is this 55th shloka in the 11th chapter, which says like that, Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjitaha nirvaira sarvabhuteshu yasamam eti pandava. By the Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Well, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he says, anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishna local planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with the supreme personality, Krishna must take this formula as stated by the Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. See how wonderful. So, in other words, pure devotional service, no mixture with fruitive activities or speculative knowledge, mental speculation. One who works for Krishna, who makes him the supreme goal of life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me, says Krishna. So now Arjuna starts with the question, this chapter 12, which is called Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. Arjuna Vacha, Evam Satata Yukta Ye Bhaktastvam Paripasate, Ye Chapaksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. So this chapter is dedicated totally to Bhakti Yoga. In its different manifestations, different stages. First of all, on the stage of pure love. But Arjuna wants to make sure, not for himself, of course, but for us, to make it clear for us from Krishna's mouth, which is better, which one is better situated, the one who worships Krishna directly in his personal form, or one who worships the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. So, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Maya Vesha Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shathaya Parayo Petas Tene Teme Yukta Tamo Mataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Well, Krishna makes it very clear. He just says it directly, that one who fixes his mind on my personal form and always engages in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith. So I think such a person is most perfect. So he considers him, not thinks, but I mean, it is a fact. He's such a person is more perfect, most perfect. So, very clear answer. But then Krishna, knowing that not everybody can worship him directly, so he talks about the other kind of people. See what he says. Yatvaksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paripasate sarvatra gama chintamam kutastam achalam dhruvam saniyamendriya gramam sarvatra samabhutaya te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone. Such persons, engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve me. So, at last, he says, in other words, those who are impersonalists, those who don't understand the personal form of Krishna, and those who are attracted to unmanifested, that lies beyond the senses, something transcendental, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable. I mean, this is impersonal Brahman. We should not disregard impersonal Brahman. This is part of Krishna. This is Krishna's bodily effulgence. So impersonal Brahman is great because Krishna is great. So, but when we worship Krishna, we of course worship impersonal Brahman. We understand it as well, but only understanding impersonal Brahman without understanding its source, where it comes from, where these rays are emanating from, is not enough. Well, impersonalists, real impersonalists, good ones, they actually control the various senses, and they are equally disposed to everyone. They are quite they're transcendentalists as well. But Krishna says that such people at last they achieve me too. So it's something called indirect way of approaching Krishna. There's a direct way by accepting Krishna as the supreme and surrendering unto him, and then this long way to come to him, like yeah, indirect way. Is it easy to worship Krishna indirectly? Kleshothigaratastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higatir dukham tehavatpir avapyate. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Klesha means trouble. Klesha, trouble, problem, disturbance, and so on. Lord Jagannath's mantra says, Prashana Klesha Nashaya, Pranatha Klesha Nashaya, means that, one who destroys all the troubles for us. Well, impersonalists are very, their path is very troublesome. And it's difficult to go on that way. As I a few times mentioned before, impersonalists become kind of upset with devotees because devotees say those who become Krishna's devotees, surrender to Krishna, they achieve mukti immediately. Well, impersonalists say, well, we have to struggle like so many lifetimes. And how can you say you can just achieve like that? But it's not us who says that. This is Krishna who says that by surrendering unto me, I will save you from all troubles and I will give you liberation. It's just included in the package Krishna gives us. Krishna gives us love, and he takes care of us. So we are immediately liberated. So a personalist way is very troublesome. But on the other hand, ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara ananyanaiva yogena mam tyayanta upasate tishamaham samutharta prityu samsara sagarat pavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me, um, without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Can you see that? Krishna says, but those who worship me, they are giving up all their activities unto me, and who are totally without deviation, devoted to me, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating, always fixed, being fixed with their minds on Krishna. He delivers them swiftly, immediately, basically, from the ocean of birth and death. Sagara means the ocean. So this is very special. This is the proof of what I said just recently. So Krishna delivers his devotees from the ocean of birth and death immediately. Um, so you see, the qualities of the devotee mentioned in this verse are just very elevated, because I mean these devotees have nothing else to think of or worship except Krishna. These are very, very highly elevated devotees we are talking about. They are devotees without deviation. So they are very fortunate. So the process of well, I mean, the goal of Bhakti Yoga is very simple. We want to just totally worship Krishna, become fixed in His service, and always thinking of Him. So we don't need to become great scholars or whatever. So, or great yogis or great karmis, great philosophers. We just want to always think of Krishna and never forget Him. So now Krishna instructs Arjuna what to do. Mayeva manatasva maya buddhim niveshaya nivasishasi mayeva ada urtvam nasamshaya. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, basically, Krishna repeats the same thing all the time with different words from different angles of views and so on. He just fix your mind upon me. Man mana pavamat bhakto, says Krishna in another place. Always think of me. But only think? No. Madhyaji, worship me. Yaji means, yagya yeah, I mean, temple worship, whatever worship. Mam yaji, mam namaskuru. Mameva shesi satyam me adijane priyosime. Become my devotee. Man mana pavamat bhakto, become my devotee. Always think of me, become my devotee. Worship me and offer homage to me. Namaskuru. So, yes, he says the same thing here. Tachitam samadhatum nashaknoshi maistita stiram abhyasa yogana tato mam ichaptum dhananjaya. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So now Krishna acknowledging that not everyone can fix his mind totally on Krishna. So he tells Arjuna, of course he tells us, because Arjuna doesn't need to do that. He is always engaged, fixed in Krishna. But he says that But if you cannot always engage your mind in thinking about me, then you follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga is just like if a child wants to learn how to walk or how to write, for example, A, B, C, D, and so on. He has to practice. I mean, practice very, very simple things, walking or biking, whatever, or writing letters. Just very, he has to follow some routines of practice because then at one point he becomes good at doing it. Then he can just do it without thinking about it. And it becomes his second nature, basically. So you see, for example, in Denmark where I live, people ride the bike just, it's just a part of their body almost. They can do it without hands and without anything. It just, as if it's a continuation of their body. So why? Because they don't think even about it. They can just do it because they have been, what shall I say, have been practicing it in due course of time, and now they can do it. The same is with us. If we do follow the regulative principles, then mind, which is difficult to control and direct towards Krishna, because mind wants to think about everything except Krishna. So then we can train the senses, the mind, the body to be engaged in Krishna service. So this is like a level below the spontaneous love, spontaneous devotion. Yes, and Bhakti Yoga is extremely intelligently designed by Krishna and by acharyas. Krishna designs, he gives us the principles of Bhakti Yoga, then acharyas adjust it to the particular time, space, and place and circumstances, because what was possible in Dwapara Yuga or other yugas or even 1000 or 500 years ago, it's not possible now. Even like what was possible for 100 years ago in India, or 120, 30 years ago, devotional life was very natural when Srila Prabhupada was a child. So nowadays it's very difficult, isn't it? So yeah, so the acharyas have to find the means and ways to adjust the eternal principles of Sanatana Dharma, Bhakti Yoga, to a particular time and circumstances. So Krishna goes on to the next level below. Abhyasya samarthosi matkarma paramo bhava padartham apikarmani kurvan siddhim avapsasi. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Some people cannot even follow the principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this case, Krishna advises them to work for Krishna. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purports then that, for example, if you have some money, help contribute to Krishna consciousness movement, to preaching Krishna consciousness by building temples, building some devotional places, centers, or just contributing with money or with bodily activities, maybe just helping, washing, cleaning, anything, distributing books and whatever we can do. This is the next one. No, though, this is also good. If we cannot do things mentioned before. Next one. Taita apyashaktusi kartum madhyogam ashrita. Sarva karma phalatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. So, giving up all results of work. This is the next one. you can do if you cannot work for Krishna somehow or other. Um, so, and try to be self-situated. Yeah. Um, yeah, in other words, I mean, you don't work for yourself. I mean, you just want to do something good, find some good work, maybe some kind of humanitarian work, doing charity or helping other people somehow or other. If you cannot do anything within Bhakti Yoga, then this is good too, because if you work without attachment to the results, then you become purified. So some people dedicate themselves to some educational work, some medical work, some humanitarian work. This is what Krishna means. Sheyo hi jnanamapyasat jnanat dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phala tyagat chantir anantaram. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. So even if you cannot do this, even I mean, renouncing the fruits of one's work, then cultivate the knowledge. Krishna says but meditation is better than cultivation of knowledge. But even better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. Because when you are not attached to work, which is difficult to imagine, so I mean, you do something, but you don't care if you get something for it or not. Such thing is very, very rare, I would say. So if you can do that, then you are peaceful in your mind. You attain a peace of mind. Hmm. It's not so easy. Dveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukham kshami santushta satatam yogi yatatmat ritta nishchaya mayar pita manobhutir yomat bhakta same priyaha. Now he talks about bhaktas. What kind of bhakta is very dear to him? One who is not envious, but is a kind friend of all living entities, who doesn't think himself a proprietor and is freed from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. One who is not envious but is very kind friend to all living entities. Can you see that? Envious in this case means that one who is not inimical, one who doesn't want to hurt anyone, one who is kind to everyone. So Krishna mentions this as a first qualification. He likes devotees who are kind to everyone. So yeah, very elevated quality. Many of those qualities are just self-illuminating. Just by reading them, we can understand. Um, so one who is equal in both happiness and distress. So such devotee, he's happiness, distress. He's always fixed. He's he's not stupid. He understands what happiness is, what distress is, but he won't be shaken by either of them. And Krishna goes on. Yasmanno dvijate loko lokanno dvijate chaya harsha bhayodvega yukto ya sachame priya. He by whom me, he by whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equiposed in happiness and distress, fear, anxiety, is very dear to me. Devotee doesn't even want to step on the ant or kill just a little animal. So So he's not putting anyone in difficulty. Um, and he's not disturbed by other people because he has this totally different vision. So he sees the hand of Krishna in everything. So he's not um, he's not disturbed by actions of other people, even if they want to hurt him or her. Anapeksha suchirdaksha udasino gata yatha sarvarampa parityagi yumad bhakta same priya. My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. Hmm. Free from all pains. He's not sorry, he's not oh, I'm so bad, oh, I'm so this, and doesn't have any bad feelings for himself. It's so, I'm so, what shall I say, unlucky, unfortunate. I don't have this. My neighbor has all these things. I don't have it. Oh, so isn't it pity for me? And things like, he's not sorry. Um, he's not experiencing any pains. Of course, he will experience pain of the body, of course, when it hurts. But he has different vision of it. So really he's not really concentrated on that. Because basically devotees who are in pure devotional service are not on the material platform. They are beyond it. Yona hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhaktiman ya samepriya. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. So he's about all these dualities, rejoicing and grieving, lamentation, desires, auspicious, inauspicious, and so on. And Krishna is very pleased, and Krishna says that such a devotee is very dear to him. Samashatrau cha mitre cha tatha manapamanayo shitoshna sukha dukeshu samasanga vivarjitaha. Tulyanindastu tirmauni santushto yena kenachit aniketa stira matir bhaktiman me priyo manaraha. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor in dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Always silent doesn't mean that he doesn't speak at all. Uh, this this um, this vow of silence, Mauni Vrata, it really means actually that you don't speak nonsense. You only speak about essential things, which is anything related to Krishna. And you don't just speak about Krishna. You just speak about Krishna when it's relevant, when it's, in the context of something, I don't know. You cannot just talk because you have to talk. So you are just thoughtful, you are very wise, basically. So you don't comment on anything on Facebook, for example, on so better just concentrate on and preserve your energy to the essential things, Krishna consciousness. Then commenting about political situations, this and that and this and that, back and forth, and using, wasting your time, arguing with people and things like that. So, yeah, this is silence. Yadu dharmamritamidam yadhoktam paripasate shadadhana parama bhakta stetiva mitpriyaha. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Bhakti yoga is imperishable. It's sanatana dharma. It's eternal. It can never be destroyed. It can never be changed. And this is the path of devotional service. One who engages in bhakti yoga and makes Krishna the supreme goal, very, very dear to him, of course, because they want to give everything to Krishna. So Krishna wants to give everything to them too. This is very, very nice. So um, that ends this chapter. This chapter has only 20 shlokas, which makes it the shortest chapter in the whole Bhagavad Gita. In many shlokas, in the end, Krishna was just praising the devotees, those devotees who are very dear to him. It's We can appreciate how great is those qualities, and the best quality is to be devoted to Krishna, and everything else will come. Um, if you are, but at the same time, if you just think that no, I have to devote myself to Krishna, and I don't care for anyone, because all the living entities, they are not supreme. I have to worship supreme, and so I don't need to be kind with, other living entities, other people. Then such devotee is not very dear to Krishna. He makes sure that he is really stressing this point very much in this chapter. So yeah. Well, these kind of feelings come when you become purified, and when you know go up to the higher levels of our existence. I mean, spiritual levels. Yeah, because this is not possible to display these qualities while on the material level. It's not really possible. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for attention. I will end here. Anything you want to ask or any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I just have a question. What
Yes.
happens when we strive to achieve something that is beyond our level?
Oh, yeah. For example, Srila Prabhupada would say that there was somebody during his time, one of his disciples, who wanted to live in Vrindavan and just chant 300,000 times, just like Haridas Thakur did. He did not approve this, because he said you cannot imitate Haridas Thakur. You have to be you have to engage in practical devotional service. You cannot just chant, because you cannot concentrate your mind. So it will be troublesome. It will end up in a problem. So and if you don't know what is right or wrong, then well, there are probably some devotees who have more experience, and we can ask them, should I do this? Once I wanted to go to Vietnam and preach. I was in Mayapur. This was in 1993. So because my spiritual master, he said that, well, one who goes to Vietnam and preaches there, because Vietnam was a difficult country. So well, I will like take the dust from his feet into my head or something like that. So I wanted to please my spiritual master. So he was in Mayapur too. So one devotee, I asked him, one my godbrother, to talk to him about it. And when he mentioned this, that well, Nandaprya wants to go to Vietnam, He said no. So I was not qualified. I wasn't ready to this. So, but we don't need to be heroes, by the way. We don't need to do something great. Just chanting attentively and doing our service and taking care of ourselves and helping, preaching, whatever we can, in whatever way we can. So is enough because there is this kind of I don't know if it is anymore, but when I joined Hare Krishna, so it was like very you had to do some heroic things, which is great, but it pushes people, it stresses people, the devotees very much. So better be like take it easy and just develop slowly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. Well, I'm so happy that we are doing this program, and so happy to have your association as well during the classes. Thank you very much. So see you soon again. I think I don't no. I think Kalindi will give 13th and 14th chapter. Then I will talk. Uh, yes, yes. Okay. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Paul.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You're welcome.